everybody. Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and your Off-Grid Project. It is a beautiful day. We got a load of wood earlier, and now we're in Elk Rapids. It's just a beautiful scene right there. You found a nice stone already? That is a pretty stone. And we're just gonna enjoy it. It was 64 degrees today, but we forgot this is daylight savings time. We just got here at 3:30 in the afternoon, which is equivalent to 4:30 in the afternoon. And we got our jackets on because the sun is going down. We didn't count on that. There's nice colors, but it's rough. The green and sparklies is eroded. So we're gonna look around for some stones and see if we find anything pretty here that we might be able to take home and use later on. And just enjoy a family day. And the last of our little bit of time left in November. Such a warm day in November is something special. Look at how clear and beautiful it is. There's really neat fossil-filled bits and pieces. But I don't know what I'll do for sure with them, but maybe something with crafting or do something with them. I just think they're really cool and they're worth saving. It's cold, but not unbearable. We're out in there picking up some pretty stones. See here, this is there's the famous Leland blue and Frankfurt green. Can be found in tiny pieces here. And there's, oh, you got a pretty one. That, Melanie. Melanie found a perfect heart. Yeah. There's also fossil fragments abounding in here. This is actually full of sediment from the ocean, all kinds of little fossil pieces. You'll find polished fossil fragments out here, and neat little fossils. There's a few colors of slag that Leland is famous for. This one has a red eye in it. It's so unique. And this is pretty rough, but it's a typical Frankfurt green. There's a Leland blue, semi-transparent. That is a beautiful turquoise. Look at that. Now that's jewelry colors right there. That is just the beautiful color. That is rare out here. But look at those colors. That's slag that was thrown away well over 100 years ago. Just beautiful. Look at those colors, people. This, I tell you, Michigan is the hand of God. You see the form of a hand on Michigan? And it's the most beautiful place on the earth. It is amazing. The water is clear. Amazing. I've been in up to my knees. I told Melanie this is the absolute last chance we're going to have for anything like this out here. Looking for unique things that we can do with crafting with. That is see-through. I have no idea what that is. Does it show up? I don't know if it shows up. But we're enjoying. We're all right in the water. Because look, you can see everything down in here. Look at that beautiful orange. The colors here are just amazing. You can see everything out here, and there's no pressure from other rock hounds. I think, is that a piece of Leland? No. Hope I didn't splash my camera. But we can actually see down here. There's some Petoskey's, but there's some Leland greens, or blues, Frankfurt greens and Leland blues. And there's these weird swirly things. Ah, it's cold. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's going home. Look at that. Isn't that neat? That's going home. So we're just having a blast. It's probably getting late. But the chances of coming here again like this is not very high. There's another. Full of fossils. Look at that. And all good things must come to an end. We say goodbye to Elk Rapids and the beautiful scenery. We have a bit of a drive ahead of us. I do have water on my lands, don't I? Yeah, and that's it then. We'll pan back without water on the lens and say goodnight for this day. Look at that. We don't get those views at home. That's a postcard. We got another load of wood. I'm still sore and slow working, but we got a good load of dry wood. Actually, I'm wondering about using that for some sort of craft, like a lamp base or something. It'd be sort of cool, I think. And then there's another big one here. Hollowed out. Might be cool for something. Clean the junk out of it. I don't know. I like crafting. I like making stuff. But other than that, we got a good pile of dry wood. And I can handle the little stuff. Melanie has to help me with the big stuff. But we're getting it. We've been burning. Let me show you what we burnt so far. This is quite disturbing. 1, 2, 3, 4 pallets of our stuff. That's a third of our supply that we had for this year is gone. The second row is supposed to be for next year, and we're trying to put the dry wood up front and the wet wood in the back. So we got to work harder. We're burning like mad. That's 4 pallets of wood gone. So 4 foot by 2 foot by 6.5 foot tall per pallet. That's a lot of wood. I got to do the math later. A lot of you will be happy to see we have our wood covered. Yes, finally, we have our wood covered. Later, when my rib's acceptable to the job, we're going to cover the rest of the pile as well and keep it covered. Look at this. I can't believe it. Unbelievable. It's November 9th. I can't believe it. But we're going to get real cold tonight. And colder this weekend is going to be brutal. So right now though, t-shirt weather. Beautiful. We had 66 degrees the other day, probably 64 the next, and now it's in the 50s. But as long as the sun is out, it's nice. Doesn't look like much, but there's another truckload. Well, it's because we had a lot of branches too. I grabbed a bunch of branches, or Melanie grabbed branches while I was cutting with a chainsaw. She grabbed branches and we threw them up here. We can cut them throughout the winter and later on. But we got another truckload. I am still nursing a broken rib, so I can run the chainsaw with a sharp chain, and then she loads the truck while I'm doing the cutting, and we get home and I pick up the little stuff. I can handle those little stuff, and she does the bigger ones. We're getting it. We're getting more. I'm worried because of how much we burnt already. So we're getting just dry wood. We're selectively cutting now just dry wood. And then later on, if we still have time, we can start hauling more of the wet stuff. And we still have a lot to process. Once the snow falls, we'll come back through here and process all of the big stuff. And here's a pile. We've got a lot to process yet. That's actually an extending out pile for quite a ways there. But that's a winter job. When we can't drive on the roads anymore with the truck, we'll be doing these. Got a package in the mail from Signal Relief. This is something very unique and different. This is a very different pain-killing patch. So according to their website, this thing is filled with all kinds of tiny microcapacitors. And a capacitor is basically like a tiny storage battery with unique features. And it's electrically insulated, so nothing electrical touches your body. But when you have pain or an injury, that area sends signals to your nervous system indicating there's pain. This patch is supposed to disrupt that and absorb that negative energy, disrupting the flow of pain signals to your nervous system. Very curious. I love electronics. I love capacitors. And so I really had to think about this and study it before I replied back to the company. But I'm very, very interested in this, and we'll see how it works out. Being non-invasive and non-chemical, there's nothing inserted into your body and nothing transmitted into your body. I love alternate medicine, I love natural medicine, and I love electronics. So put the two together, how cool can you get? So check it out, guys. Meanwhile, I'm going to put the links down below and you can read it for yourself and check it out. And in about a week, I'll get back to you and let you know how this thing works. I am very curious. Well, we tarped the sawmill. I kept thinking I was going to move it, and I kept getting hurt. So there it sits for now. And I'll put some tie-down straps around it to hold it down. I want to move that trailer back a ways, but I just don't want to. My rib is getting better. I don't want to push it, but I want to move that back. And then eventually, when I can, I'm going to get that off there. We ran another tarp. We're doing better this year than we ever have before. So most of the wood pile's covered, just a little end here. And that's all the way across, hanging halfway down on both sides. These are awesome tarps. And yeah, looking good here. This year is our best, I think.